show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Hey everybody, and welcome back to the Crypto Night Show. Your host Superman in the house. I hope everyone is doing well out there. We've obviously got some momentum happening on Bitcoin, Ethereum, just as we expected for the new year. So that's really exciting, and we got a lot of content to watch today. So we're going to be doing quite the macro picture today around Bitcoin, Ethereum, and some of the upcoming bullish things about that. So hope you guys enjoy it. The Clarity Act, tokenization, etc. So we're all going to discuss that today. We're also going to look at Tom Lee and Bitmine with the old staking is accelerating with this old Maven protocol there. So it's looking pretty good. We're also obviously going to get into Richard Hart. We got some comments from him today. Pulsechain, we're going to look at the market, see where Pulsechain's at. And of course, we're going to also check out on Emit Farm today. So we're going to have a deep dive into high yield APRs on Emit Farm. So one of our leading farms on Pulsechain. So if you were thinking about maybe potentially putting some capital to work, that might be an option for you. So we're going to check that out later on. Should be a lot of fun. All right, so let's get into it. Without further ado, don't forget to subscribe on the way in. And don't forget to hit the repost button. That helps a lot, right? Hitting the repost button. Let me just go and pin the show to the top of X. And we'll kick into gear with all the markets right now. Looking pretty good for crypto, I must say. So let's pin that up there. Emit Farm APRs, we're going to look at that. It's going to be good. They've got lots of big partners on Pulsechain, so you're going to have good chance that a lot of your projects that you have may be covered in that yield farm. So it should be fun. All right, I might as well post the show as well. Share the show around. So let's put that in the comments now. So share around, share show on X. Bam. And it's nice to see some growth. We're having good growth on YouTube and X. So it's really great to see that. It's a positive sign for 2026 for sure. We got Rolf in the house there. Superman's in the house. Indeed. Great to see you there, Rolf. And Rolf Kane here. And of course, share the show around on X. Helps a lot there. All right, let's kick into it again. As well. Let's go there. Now we're going to get into the stock market first. I quickly cover that. That way they'll be pretty quick. So let's kick into that one, and that is where we're going. S&P 500 is in the 2 days losing streak as technology and banks double. Remember, we're going through the bank results at the moment, reporting. We've got the Dow Jones down just a tad there, 42 points to 41,149. So it's still just off the highs, right? So if we look at the highs on the chart, we're just off the highs, record highs. S&P 500 down 0.5%. So that's a decent number. 37 points to 6,926. Just off the top of that as well. Looking at the year chart, it's got the year chart there. The Nasdaq down 1%. That's a pretty decent down day. 238 points to 23,471. Also off the highs. So there we go. A couple of days of slight retraces. US dollar is at 98.86, down slightly as well versus trading partners. Commodities at the moment, remember West Texas was up a bit yesterday. Well, it's pretty just down a little bit today, 10 cents, $61.05. Brent oil at $65. So there's about a $4 gap there between those two. There are other oil price reference points, in Southeast Asia and other places. So there's a lot of other reference points, but those are the two big ones there. Gold at the moment is at 4,633, up 0.75%. So gold obviously looking amazing. Let's have a look at the last month. Last month, just incredible. Last week, all-time highs, guys. Just incredible stuff. $34, and that's at $4,633. But look at silver. Silver absolutely rocketing. And we did say that, once we hit 75, it's kind of in that DCA take profits kind of range. And we do expect it to go quite high, though, $125 plus sort of thing. At the moment, it's at $93.20. So that's up 8%. So a real big day there for silver. Absolutely incredible. So if you've got a bag of silver, you're loving it. Remember, it was stuck all that time down at about $18. Remember that? And then it got into the 20 range and kept bouncing at $28. getting rejected, and then once it broke, it's like $93 now. It's just all happens in a moment, and this is what we're expecting for crypto to come up. So even though a lot of you might be a little bit disillusioned, this is how quickly it happens. Once it happens, it goes, and everyone's going, "Wow, that's amazing." But the problem is then once it happens, people think it's never coming down. That's the problem, and they never take the profits and ride down the other side. That's the one thing you don't want to do. All right, so there we go. We got bank earnings out as well. Bank of America and Citigroup closing more than 3% lower despite reporting quarterly earnings that top Wall Street. We have seen that where the market's getting priced down despite good earnings, so it's kind of a little unusual there. Wells Fargo fell more than 4% after quarterly revenues fell shy of estimates. So there we go at the moment. So analysts were also on the lookout for commentary around the independence of the US central bank. Obviously, things around that happening. Producer price inflation and retail sales data mixed. And of course, beyond the banking there, we had the producers price index. That's kind of the wholesale price. I remember we saw good CPI or retail inflation earlier this week. So yeah, we got producer price index data for both October and November. Producer price index for the final demand rose 0.1% on the month of October after rising 0.6% on September. And of course, the Bureau also released the November figures at the same time. They showed a monthly growth of 0.2%. That said, the widely watched core PPI or Producers Price Index numbers, which exclude volatile food and energy, grew at a substantial 0.7% on month in October and 0.2% in November. So it did come down in November quite a bit there in terms of gain. For the 12 months ended November, prices for final demand, less food, energy, and trade services climbed 3.5%, the largest 12-month increase since rising 3.5% in March. So that obviously impacted the market a little bit there, despite the fact that we had kind of favorable consumer price index at the retail level. So yeah, that's kind of where we are. This will complicate the situation for Federal Reserve, given that kind of conflicting news. Was the news that US retail sales grew by more than anticipated in November, rebounding from a contraction in the prior month, suggesting that some strength consumer spending may be heading into the final month of 2025. Retail sales expanded by 0.6% month on month, faster than expectations of an increase of 0.5%. In October, the figure, which is comprised mostly of goods, is not adjusted for inflation, was revised lower to show a contraction of 0.1%. So obviously, US is the big consumer of the world. About 2/3 of the economy is based on consumption. Remember, the US economy is about $27 trillion a year. That is so it's a big deal. Consumer, however, may be facing rising costs in the months ahead as tariff-related pressures. Now, they keep going on with this tariff thing, but we're already saying this is not really the case. So just some old liberal writing there. US economy showed a modest improvement in recent weeks, but tariff-related costs increasing filtered through, they say. So that's their interpretation, but they didn't provide any evidence for that. All right, so that's the play there on the stock market. Let's have a look at the interest rate monitor right now for January. 1 week and 6 days and 20 hours to go. We're down at 4.6%, so not really too much change from yesterday on the interest rate move there. And of course, looking to March, we've got 25% of the market, so it's even a bit more muted than yesterday from my recollection. So looking at no change at the moment. So we'll see what happens in the next couple of months. And we do have the vote for the next year, but March, April still could be pulled in by the Chair Powell. So we'll keep monitoring that. All right, so that is the stock market news and the economic news. There we go. So let's jump over to the crypto market, which has been absolutely on the move, just like gold and silver. We've seen some move in the old crypto. So let's get to that as well. All right, let's jump over to the big screen, and we've got total crypto at the moment, 3.389 trillion, so we're up 3% again today, so really nice. Bitcoin at the moment at 97,500, up 3.6%. We can celebrate that. Ethereum is up 5% at $3,370. So we're only about $100, couple $100 below the Magic Upride price. We've got the XRP at the moment up 1.3%. At $2.15, and BNB at number 5 up 0.3%, $945. Solana at number 6 up 2.5% at $147. We've got the Tron at number 9 down 0.3% at 30.3 cents, and finally Doge there at number 10 is up 2.1% at 14.75 cents. There we go. That's the mark right now. Get in the top 10, you need a market cap of just under $25 billion. Best performer over the last 24 hours has been Ethereum, up 5%, and over the last week, it looks like Solana up 8.5%. Top 100, we got Monero up 87%, 88%, I should say. Story IP up 67%. Internet Computer is back in the top there, 39%. Polmatic has been there for several days, but 23%, along with Story IP, of course, number 2. And then Pump Farm's been there quite regularly as well, up 22%. And so those are the top 5 right now, top 5 in the top 100. Let's look at the top 1,000. We've got the official 67 coin. We've got Guns, and we've got the good old Dash. Everyone loves Dash from OG Dash. And those are the top 3 in the top 1,000 right now. Trending overall, we've got Monero, Zcash, and Dash as well. So there we go. Got to have some Dash. Anyway, so that's where we are. So good day in the office, up 3% overall. And got some nice moves on Pulsechain on the Bitcoin, up 3.6%, and Ethereum up 5%. So let's zoom in on those charts and have a closer look. All right, so we've got Bitcoin chart here on Coinbase, $97,184. We've got a nice little uptick on the monthly. There's the monthly chart, well above the moving average, which is at 66,000. So everything looking pretty good there. Let's look at the daily. We were in a death cross, if you remember. Let's see if that's turning up. It is starting to flatten out and turn up. And of course, with big days like today, we were pumping, was it $6,000 in the last month, or last day, I should say. It's a pretty big deal. So a big move today on the old Bitcoin. Let's go to Ethereum. Ethereum at the moment on monthly, 3,357. We've got the 50 monthly moving average at 2,569. So we're comfortably above that by, what's that, almost $800. Let's say 570. So that's on the up as well. Let's look moving at the daily as well, which was also on the death cross. And that's starting to flatten out and move to the upside. So that means we're heading for golden cross, hyper bullish move, right, potentially. And we've had some really nice gains, particularly the day before. We jumped from $3,100 to 33, so like just about $230 gain, and we're up again today at the moment. So let's see if we keep climbing. It's looking pretty good. So that is Ethereum, and bring on the golden cross. All right, so we had some news. Obviously, Tom Lee, one of the bulls that we follow, he is obviously head of Bitmine Immersion, the number 1 liquid holder of Ethereum, or not too long because he's staking a lot of it. So Bitmine has continued to its process of staking. Remember, they indicated they could do it as fast as 70 days with their Maven setup, and so they've continued on with that. So remember, they got over probably about 4.2 million. They haven't fully disclosed all of it yet, but they're at 40.07. But they're probably closer to 4.2 million. They're after 6 million, remember, 5% of the ETH supply. But they've started staking in the process to earn cash. So they've staked another 186,000 ETH, 625 million in the past 12 hours, bringing total staked ETH to 1.53 million out of their, maybe close to 4.2 is my guess on that. So $5 billion so far. So that process is still going. And they're expected to earn, I think when all said and done, once they get to 6 million, I believe around about $1 million a day. So 365 million a year, which is astounding cash flow. So it'll be interesting to see what they do with that. Now, they're also doing this share issuance, right? So that's play. We have seen that the price of Bitmine Mission has been pretty suppressed, but I think it's a pretty dang good play just to pick up that. If you can do targeted ROI, 401ks or something like that, or just picking it up separately, it could be a pretty nice play there, particularly if it gets a MNAV uplift, right? That premium on top of the ETH asset value. So you got your NAV and your MNAV, right? So the MNAV is that premium that you get. And that's based on a couple of things. So that could be pretty cool. So Tom Lee on the move. What else? I think we had something else about Tom Lee. Yeah, Tom Lee here. Obviously, we've got the share split coming up, right? So they've got they're going to have some special guests at their shareholder meeting where they're having the pre-vote on the share on the 15th of January. So that'll be tomorrow, US time probably. They got guest speakers of Vitalik Buterin from Ethereum and Sam Altman from OpenAI. So, of course, Sam Altman's one of these evil guys in the world, pretending he's a nice guy, doing some bad stuff. So he's going to be there, and you got Vitalik there as well. I don't know. You could watch him for his dancing. Maybe he'll dance there. I don't know. Pay attention to the room being assembled. So there we go. Let's quickly check this out from Tom Lee. Tom Lee, of course, he loves his disheveled hair. Doesn't matter what show he's on. He's got his disheveled hair there. A bit like Einstein, right? He's like the Einstein of crypto, isn't he? But Einstein there.
What's the date?
It's on January 15th. And that's why you need to vote before January 15th. We have a great lineup of speakers. We have Vitalik, who is the founder and creator of Ethereum. We have Sam Altman from OpenAI speaking. And we're going to lay out our roadmap for 2026, which includes really the 4 pillars of growth, beyond just staking income that'll generate growth for Bitmine. But again, we need to have the shares authorized to achieve our growth targets.
What's the date?
We've got
I said before, it looks in the near term like Bitcoin's probably developing into the strongest near-term trend.
But are we seeing signs of a rally that wants to slow down and stall? Or are we just simply seeing some growing pains as we see this broadening?
I think we're seeing the consequence of elevated volatility. And it's been that way since the beginning of the year. You use the word momentum. Momentum is trying to find what will be the next trend establishing itself. Interestingly enough, it looks like Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies is where that next trend ultimately is going to be. I said
Tokenization is the idea of using then smart contracts or tokens on chain to be able to that represent, say, an underlying security, and so then that tokenized security is a security and would be subject to SEC rules by law. But the idea is that if it's on chain, on a blockchain, then there's much more transparency as to where it is. Right now, there's a bit of opacity as to who owns what and where the company usually doesn't even know where its who its shareholders are, and where the shareholders reside, where the shares reside. So tokenization has the benefit of potentially having, instead of T+1 now trade date +1 for clearance and settlement, the prospect of maybe T0 now, depending on the instrument, and we have to think about netting and all sorts of other things with respect to some instruments. But in principle, the idea of on-chain delivery versus payment and receipt versus payment, DVP, RVP on-chain, is a prospect of de-risking the markets, making them much more transparent and then sure as far as clearance and settlement, because it's always that the gap between clearance and settlement and then delivery and payment is the real introduces risk into the system.
Do you expect this is where financial services is going? Are the major banks and the brokers out there today moving increasingly toward tokenization?
Oh, absolutely. And it's the way the world will be, here in the, maybe not even in 10 years, maybe even a lot less time, maybe a couple of years from now. So I think that all of this modernization of the markets, I think, is good. And the trouble that we've seen here over the past few years is that the SEC, unlike historically, it never was necessarily at the vanguard of pushing new innovations. It was always a little bit behind the market, of course. But here recently, it's been almost standing athwart the marketplace, and as it's as all these new innovations were coming about. So that's no more. We're actually embracing it, and I believe that we need to be embracing it to keep the United States at the forefront. As far as cryptocurrencies and whatnot, there were really only 2 countries in the world here in the last few years that were working to make cryptocurrencies illegal, and that was Communist China and the U.S. through the SEC. So that's changed. It's a new day now, and so we want to embrace this new technology.
All right, so sorry about I had it muted before, but yeah, so we've got Tom Lee on the move, staking that ETH and earning sweet yields, and we've got the share vote. And then we've got now SEC chair here, hyper bullish. We've got CNBC hyper bullish on crypto as the market's going to be moving this year. And the SEC talking about how quickly tokenization is going to happen from TradeFi and Wall Street to crypto blockchain, including financial products and company shares. So it's a really big deal. All is playing out. So 26, 27 looking really amazing for us. And our time has come, let's say. So pretty cool. Let's look at the next one there. We got Mr. We're obviously short term. We've got the Clarity Act bill. The US Senate votes on whether or not to advance the Clarity Act bill. Now, there's obviously lots of stakeholders there positioning around this. So we're going to check that out for tomorrow, apparently. So that's going to be pretty cool as well. So Clarity Act, yeah, really big around custodial and, what's going to be kind of acceptable or not in crypto, and also market structure, things like that. So kind of cool. That is heading forward there. So quite a bit there on the markets, and all looking pretty bullish. So game on. Let's see what this week looks like. Could have quite a re-rate this week in the old markets, coming off the back of Christmas holidays. Kind of cool. I got a red card from Wookie for the mutes. Yeah, thanks for that. Appreciate that, Wookie. Get off. All right, so let's get into some of the other stuff we're going to get into Pulsechain now. So obviously Bitcoin and Ethereum looking bullish, and Pulsechain there not quite following suit today. We've obviously got a few other things happening there. We have covered, of course, yesterday we covered Coin Mafia launch. Today we're going to be covering Emit farms and high yields. It's going to be pretty cool, and I am still going to be covering probably James Maria's ecosystem and giving some insights around that. So for those that are not too familiar, we'll have a look at that and try and get do some cool show on that. That's coming up as well. Very cool. We've also got Fast Abdul in the house. I'm here for the tech, and we're excited about what Fast Abdul's doing with Vault 369. We know that the code is finished and they're doing testings, so that can't be too far away. Multi-chain, multi-collateral fork, and could be quite a powerhouse, not only in crypto but on Pulsechain as well. So looking forward to that soon. All right, so let's get into Richard Hart. He's been posting out today, and he's been doing the marketing, right? Doing the marketing. Said that Pulsechain is awesome. Other stuff, not so much. Talking about Su Chain there. Su Network is now back and fully operational. Transactions are flowing. So Su obviously had an issue there, experiencing a network stall. But Pulsechain just keeps ticking away there. So Richard Hart pointing it out. So that's kind of cool. Let me repost it actually. All right. So that is a cool start there from Richard. I think he had one more other post as well. I'm not quite sure what that one was about, but he had a couple other posts. Yeah, he did. He's been posting a little bit actually, hasn't he? So we got a little meme there. We got silver versus Bitcoin. So game on there for as well. So anyone actually notice improvement in the algo? I guess he's talking about the X algorithm there. Sometimes I post nice things about stuff, so just so crybabies cryfag in the comments, then I can block them. So he's having a bit of fun on the X as well. So that's from Richard today. But yeah, putting the cheerleader stuff out there about Pulsechain. It's kind of cool. Let me fix something up here. Let's go light mode, and we go dark mode again. Bam, there we go. Fixed. All right, so let's get into Pulsechain's results. Day 978 since Pulsechain launched on the 13th of May 2023. Set 978 days later. It's pretty crazy. We got the price down, so we didn't follow the market up today. So obviously some dumpers out there. I don't know if it's the usual ones that have been dumping us on Pulsex and that. But Pulse at the moment, quadruple 161 down 7.2% on the 24 hours. We've got Pulsex at the moment at down 9.6%, so basically wiping out what we had yesterday. We had a green day yesterday, didn't we? And we're at quadruple 124, so can't get out of the range, it seems, being stuck, being pushed down by some key players. Ink token at the moment, so buy and burn, I should say, is 8.4%. That keeps moving around. Not sure why that's doing that, but moving around. Ink there at the moment, 61 cents, down 11.3%. Ouch. And we've got the Hex on Pulsechain down 8.7%. 20 just below 28 hundredths of a penny. EHEX at the moment has lost at 0, of course. It's down at 0.093. So if you wanted to pick up more of the Hex, you've got another chance here apparently. And that is the Pulsechain. So didn't follow the market up there. Obviously maybe have some rotators out there, maybe rotating into the majors like Bitcoin, Ethereum. So that could be happening. But in any case, that is where the market is right now. 286,000 beats, a little bit cheaper or a bit low on the beats, I should say, but still 0.2 of a penny for a Pulsex swap. Looking at the validators right now, 52,408. It's pretty similar to yesterday from Mindbird Collection. And looking to the bridge, still holding 80 million, but down slightly from yesterday. I think we got to 81.2, didn't we, yesterday? So it might be down 600K there. Obviously, EHEX dragging us down, but of course, ETH is up and Bitcoin is up. Yeah, that's kind of where we are right now. I don't. What else we got there? Yeah, ETH. We've lost some ETH volume now, haven't we? Yeah, we've lost some ETH volume. So that's kind of the play on that one. All right, let's jump over to the rest of the markets. We got $7.1 million in volume, so that's actually better than normal. We've typically been stuck between 4.5 and 6.5. So 7.1 million is quite good. I think we had some record transaction levels yesterday that we hadn't seen for a long time. So that was pretty cool. I'm not sure, was it 650,000, 700,000, somewhere in that, was up in that range. I forgot to mention that yesterday. So looking at the top moving coins, we've got Cypher. Cypher, I believe, is a honeypot, I'm pretty sure. So just avoid that. That's 11 hours ago. I'm pretty sure that's a honeypot. Yeah, that's a honeypot, so just ignore that. You got to be very careful. With the honeypots, they set up little websites because anyone can do websites these days. But that is a honeypot one there, so don't get involved there. Rack and Michelle's Coin Mafia token is up 217%. So that's actually the old one, isn't it? This is the original one. Sorry, I don't think this is the real one, is it? Yeah, that's not the official one. That's the one that got launched and rugged. So that was a bit of drama around that. You can go check that out online. What else we got going here? We got the ARC. It's been around for 5 months. That's up 2.8%. SCADA from Nuclear Supply up 2.2%. UFOs are managing to etch out a little green here, about 1%. Sparta also is flat, pretty much flat. And Surgical Trainers is flat as well. So only 8 coins in the top 100, guys, is actually green. And we've got a big honey token there and a false launch token as well. So not a great day there on the office for Pulsechain, but a great day for buying. It's always a great day for buying when you get a big pullback, and that is pretty much it. So looking at other ones down here, we're going to pick off a few. We got Zendog down here right now, just slightly down 1.4%. P Tiger down 2%. James and Maria's Teddy Bear down 2%. Kind of supposed to be kind of a reflection of overall value. We've got Tropa down there as well. Like I say, we'll try and do a show on Tropa, Teddy Bear, and James and Maria's multiple token ecosystem, quite large, isn't it? What else we got? We got Gophers sitting there down 2.6%. We have seen Firewhale be a lot more active on X, so he is back in the conversation, but that is down 3% on the old X game there, 00083. We've got World's Greatest PDI Printer down 3.8% or 3.7% from OG Web Chef. Scroll down a little bit further down here. Pandex, which launched not too long ago, that's down 4.7%. Saw some mini meal down 5%. Still holding pretty well, but of course, the buy and burns they've just got that massive treasury. Man, it'd be pretty nice if we could have those tens of millions of dollars flying into Pulsechain right now. That'd be pretty good. We got GoPulse at the moment down 5%. Top Hat down 5%. 9mm, the DEX, which has been performing very well, but of course Pulse is down. So, but they're doing about 20k in revenue share a month, so doing pretty well there. That's down 4.4%. Liquid Loans is down 5.6%. What else? Let's keep going. Zero Trust, we talked about that I think earlier, down 6%. What else? Let's scroll down here. We got Finvestor at $1.64, down 7%. Vouch down 7%, 7.4%. And of course, this has been doing pretty low volumes on the weekly, but has been performing pretty well on a bounce back on the price. So both in US dollar terms and the Pulse. And of course, recently they did a video here. So yeah, I mean, it was 0.84 Pulse per Vouch, and it's now almost 1.5 Pulse per Vouch. So it's been performing pretty well despite the low volumes. It's had a lot of volume since the week of the 10th of November. So what's that? 4 weeks, 8 weeks. So let's call it 2.5 to 3 months. 2.5 months to 3 months of low volume. Before that, it was still kicking away. 40, 50k, and the months before that, but it's really dropped off quite a bit. But Pulsechain's down, right? So it's probably playing a big part there. Volumes are down. And I think there was one whale that they had to exit some valos, if I remember rightly, on that one. But that is Vouch right now, the number one validator on Pulsechain. Mafia, this is the actual Mafia one for Jacob's Mafia game. So that's the Killing Mafia game, not the Coin Mafia. That's down 7.7%, just taking a bit of a breather, but the chart looks amazing. We looked at it yesterday. Peacock is just tapering off a little bit here, down 8.6% after successfully launching. Now, obviously, Pulsechain's down, but the market's market is pretty immature on Pulsechain. I'm just going to say that it's pretty immature, so we don't really have much of an investable market. We are getting better. There's definitely getting better, but it's still pretty weak, right? Still pretty weak. And then we have macro sellers as well, which are still hitting the market. But apart from that, we're sitting at 10114. So, looking at this overall, we're actually doing a re-rate. So the re-rate's gone pretty well, I think. So I think we ended up topping out at 1300. And this is expanding, the ecosystem expanding. And typically what we're seeing is that we get consolidation. They launch more products. That takes a little while to ramp up, and then the market re-rates it later on, the next sort of products that are coming out. So there's a little bit of that going on too. But definitely they are delivering, and it's been pretty impressive, and generally on time as well. So it's nice, given how many launches have either mixed emotions or something, or have certain things go wrong. It's nice to see Libby Swap delivering consistently, so that's pretty cool. And the market should rate that, not just the value they're offering, but also that consistency as well. We've got ALGO Hex derivative down 8.8%, following Hex down, of course. Here's the official Mafia coin down here. It's now got a little picture. That's from Rack and Michelle, down 9% at 80 cents. Now, as I understand it, they will be expanding the amount of chains. They only started off with Ethereum and Pulsechain. They did show base chain, but that was pulled. So Ethereum, Pulsechain, and they will be expanding the number of chains that were on there, and also tax tokens, adding tax tokens on there. So that rollout is continuing. So that is Mafia right now. Let's have a quick look at the price, 80 cents. And this is a marathon, not a sprint, right? So we are expecting obviously a few things at the beginning to roll out the product, but this will be a marathon, and we will be waiting to see the marketing network that Rack and Rochelle has indicated as well, potentially involving millions and millions of views there. So that's something else we're keeping a lookout, right? So watch the game plan unfold. So we'll be checking that out. Big shout out to Jen, by the way. Jen has been doing, really doing a great job. I think she's been doing pretty well there. All right, so let's just scroll down here a little bit there as well. We did also see on Murphy, we did see Joshua Wu step down from the directorship yesterday as well. So that was something else we saw. What else? Is there any other comments to make about that? I guess we could go and have a look at how many projects are on there at the moment after sort of not quite 24 hours, is it? But we've got obviously the Mafia coin that bonded. I don't know whether others have bonded or not, but we've got a couple others. They've got Coinwell bonded. They're moving along. This green kind of indicates them bonding. And we've got 1 page and 2 pages now at the moment. So I've got 2 pages. There's a Superman token there. That's not me, guys. It's not me. I would, I'd be much better Superman picture, but someone's just put that up, right? So maybe because I was covering it. There we go. But we've got a lot of the old ones there. Funny, we've got Brea there as well. That bonded, by the way. So there we go. So we've got Brea versus Brea now. It's going to be carnage. Brea versus Brea. But the other one is going to be the one for the AI agent. So presumably, so we'll see. We've got one called Rack and Rochelle as well. There we go. We've got the 8 one. So they've got Peacock in there as well. We've got a few. So that's kind of cool. Let's see what chains we've got. Have we got just Pulse? Are they all Pulsechain? Let's have a look here. Well, I'm just going to go to Ethereum because at the moment we've just got Ethereum. Let's go to the site there. Nothing on Ethereum yet. So still waiting to see something on Ethereum. All projects so far on Pulsechain. What else we got else? Their recent activity. Newest. Let's go to Newest, shall we? Newest there. Oh, they seem to have pinned this one here. Seems to be a pin. So maybe it's because it's already done. Bonding curve. Let's go to that. Bonding curve. Graduated. So only Brea and Coin Mafia, the only ones that graduated so far from the bonding curve. Bonding curve there. I'm not sure why these are still remaining, given it's bonding curve. So the filter not quite working there. All tokens showing up. That's fine. So that's kind of the play right now. Like I say, we're expecting more chains to be added and reflection tokens as well. So there we are. You can go create a token. And it's also got referrals there as well. You're going to share that around. So that is it. So if you want to launch your own token, there's Coin Mafia guys on there, and there's all the documents and stuff down the bottom there. So you can go check out all the details. So that is Coin Market currently at 80 cents. Is that what we saw? 80 cents, yeah, around 80 cents there. Price holding pretty steady there. And of course, Rack and Rochelle are picking up a lot of supply there. We have talked about supply today. So there was 1 billion tokens. They burned 90% of them. That leaves 100 million tokens. 20 million, I believe, was for the LP. And Rackens pick up a lot of those other people too, I guess, in the market. And then they 80 million are for the whitelist, the VIP whitelist. I understand there's over 600 people eligible for that, and that will not be allocated until 3 months from now, and then it'll be random every like 4 to 6 hours. Apparently, they will be released. So that's kind of the basic idea. So there is a lot of coins coming in the future, but of course, between that 3 months, I guess there'll be a ramp up of the amount of chains all the way up to over 375 chains, etc., and all the rest of the tokens and the marketing promotion. So that's kind of the lay of the land. Now, the other big thing I would say is that these coins are going to get supported through Coinwell, right, which is the big DeFi ecosystem. So some of them may end up getting, certain ones might end up getting auto staked and supported in the big DeFi protocol Coinwell coming up from Rack and Rochelle. So remember, it is an ecosystem, part of an ecosystem. There are 5 projects. That's kind of the background. Obviously, it's got all the risks. Risk and rewards that you might expect for any project. So you got to do your own due diligence. Nothing's financial advice, all that good stuff there. So keep up to date and decide for yourself. All right. What else we got going on there? We're going to scroll down a little bit further. So we talked about that. We got Most Wanted, one of the top meme coins, down 8% right now. We talked about Peacock already, didn't we? All the Richard calls. We've got Doubt Token as well, down 10%. So the meme coin's not having a great time when the Pulsechain's not pumping. We got Pump Tires as well. So we talked about Coinwell. We obviously got Pump Tires from that's up down 11%. We got Unity from Cryptographics down 14% there, with Pulsex down a bit. Pulsex is down 7%. So ratio there just selling off a little bit more. They have got collaborative staking coming up, and I did a great interview with Cryptographics the other day. Go check it out because it was a really good one. So lots of cool stuff happening there. We got Dump Tires with its new staking at V4 staking and Dump Tires gold coin. That's down 26%. So quite a correction there, isn't it? That one, and that's kind of where we are. So pretty big deal there. Just one moment, guys. I just got to answer the door here. Just one moment. Yeah, it's not often I get interrupted in the show, is it? But anyway, that was quick. Anyway, so we got DTGC, and that's got their V4 stacking, but yeah, a bit of sell off today. We would have gone down from 000 to 000 Yeah, so down a bit there today on that one. What else we got? Also, that was we got also, what's the other one that we had down here? Bria, of course, down 32%. Now, obviously, we have the Coin Mafia Bria as well. We would have had rotation into the Coin Mafia token as well from this. So that's the weekly candles. So you sort of saw we got a bit of this is the hourly flows. So we obviously got a bit of a rotation in there into Coin Mafia. So and then we got a bit of volume in here a couple of hours ago, holding now at 000 here on the US price. So let's have a look at Pulse there, the old Bria, and what were we sitting at? 14.3. So what's up, at 29. So it's basically down half now from that recent top, and this is on the daily candle. And that was only maybe was it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, not even that. So maybe 2 days ago it was up at 25, and then maybe about a week ago it was up at almost 29 there. So down on the ratio there. So we'll keep a tab on that. But presumably this will still be the one that gets supported in Coinwell and Konaki as the AI agent, as we understand it at the moment. So there we go. That is the old Bria, and so I think that's it on there. So a couple of not many winners today on these, because the top one there's a honeypot, and it's a false launch coin. Even though it's getting pumped today, it's got still a false launch coin. So not really much action at all, but a couple of ones getting corrected, or at least getting sold down at the moment, as we can see with a couple of these, including staked ETH actually. So that's down 25% as well. So that is the mark on that. And of course, there is other things going around in the market. So before we get into Emit Farm and APRs, so passive DeFi, which we're going to cover now, we do have, was it Open Up as the police? Yeah, it wasn't quite the police, but still had to deal with it. Kind of people at the front door, right? But yeah, so we've still had a few things out there. We obviously got we talked a little bit about this yesterday. We've got 99 Capital out there talking about PDI and the compound turn on there. So I did post out on that based on Crypto Sparbook's post yesterday. So that's all out there as well. Obviously, we've also got Liberty Swaps continue to ramp up things in that space as well. With new features and stuff. So pretty excited. Liberty Swap is really delivering a lot of good stuff there. We're also expecting a lot of good stuff coming out of Fast Abdul's team with the old vouch coming up as well. That should be a pretty heavyweight project, I think. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Yeah, that's kind of the play there. So let's get into some of the action there. I'm not sure what PDI is priced at the moment. I'll just go quickly check. But we'll have a quick look at PDI and see where that is ranked at the moment. So I think it's market cap, is it? Actually, is it liquidity? Maybe it's liquidity that gets ranked. Yeah, so PDI at the moment still pretty much stuck around that 2200th of a penny. So it's up 35% this week, but that's kind of been a kind of a pivot point. Is that 2200th of a penny? So up 34% this week, but not much else is happening at the moment. All right, Atropa also up 34%. So yeah, we're going to get probably deep dive into not only the compound side of things, but also James and Maria coming up. And there's a third topic we're going to cover as well. I just can't remember what it was that I need to do a live show on, right? All right, so let's get into Emit Farms. So Emit Farms is one of our leading farms. We've got probably just over half a dozen farms that are operating. We've had many more in the past, of course, but ones that are still offering yield and pools. So let's go to that, and we might go. I'm not sure if full screen is the best. Let's go full screen though, and let's see how it goes. So here's Emit Farm. The founder, of course, is Kairos. He has quite a few innovations in the space that are doing pretty well. They have Telegram bots, so if you're part of that bot and you're active in there, you get airdrops, and you get airdrops from all partner coins. So they can accumulate over a little bit of time, depending if you're in the retail book. That could be something interesting to you. So there, they get airdrops in there all the time. So it's a really cool part of the Telegram and pretty unique. Yeah, so it's a lot of fun there. What else do they have? They have all the farms. So they've been a leader, I would say, in partnerships with farms. And so they've got a lot of the leading projects that are now in the farm and consistently adding new ones. And it's been pretty awesome and keeping them vibrant, adding new farm pools and things like that. A lot of relationships with a lot of the team leaders. So, really big deal. We've been a big fan and a big advocate with the Crypto Night Show and the promotional team with a lot of partnerships to be happen. And this is a great example of that. Pretty awesome. We got Doubt Token in the house there. Big shout out. Yeah, this is the farm. And at the moment, we've got the price of the Emit farm at $1.64. We got total TVL at $544,000, so over $500,000. And we got pretty modest emission rates. So it's probably about $900 or so a day. It's pretty cool. Total supply 201,000 tokens. There is some in the treasury, of course, as well. The big deal here is also the Emit single side staking, right? This was a great move. So the first one I'd point out is really the pretty modest emission rate, which is great for the farms. So you're not having too much inflation. And that's been a pretty good balancing tool. The other one, of course, is staking Emit. So you can stake Emit itself, which is the main platform token, and you earn EDI. So you're earning a stable coin, which means you're not selling down Emit for it. You're just earning EDI. If anything, you can buy more Emit with it, right? So it's kind of the idea there. APR at the moment is 96.69%, and that's based, of course, with the price at $1.63 at the moment. Obviously, market prices will move up and down depending on what's going on. But there's a calculator there, so it basically gives you an idea that with this kind of APR, you could earn 1.31% of your capital back a week. That's one way of looking at it, or a return a week. It's kind of cool. 5.8% a month, and yearly 96.7%, right? Because that's the APR for the year. At the moment, there's $218,000 of Emit staked in there, so it's a lot. And I think the True DeFi team is sitting on about 24.5% or something in there. So they've almost got 0.25% of the staking pool earning EDI, which is pretty cool. That's a nice position to be in. They have with Emit token on the market, they have a 5% reflection token, and 4% of that reflection volume goes to feed the EDI payments, right? So the more volume on there is good, right? Whether it's buying or selling. That includes buying, selling, and transferring, I believe. So there we go. So it's doing pretty cool. So that is kind of the second big innovation there. But obviously all the others are all farms. So I would say the other third big innovation is partnerships. And in addition to that, they have a DAO and they have a council. I think you have to have 1,000 Emit tokens to be in the council vote. They have NFTs, which are getting there. We'll have a look at it in a minute. And then they have this new product called Factory. So that allows you to do extra rewards to people in your community. So you can do that too. So that's pretty cool. That's brand new. So let's look at the third big thing, which is the actual farms themselves. And in the farms, you earn a high APR, but you're earning Emit, right? So you're earning Emit there. And remember, Emit there is at a pretty modest emission rate, around $900 or so, maybe $950 at the moment, at the current price of $1.64 per day. So we've got the Emit collection, which is Emit Pulse. You can put Pulse and Emit together. Emit Die, you can put Pulse and eDie together. You've got Emit Ink, so you can put ink tokens there with Emit. And then you've got Emit Pulsex as well. So you've got all the Richard Hart cores, including Hex on Pulsechain, a P-Hex there as well. And then you've got also Wrap Bitcoin, bridged in from Ethereum, and Emit. And then you've got Emit and Pulse Wrap Bitcoin. So the copy that was on Pulsechain from Ethereum, you can also put that in there as well. So you've got lots of options there, and some of the yields are pretty attractive. I mean, you're looking between 128, 126%, 132% for the Emit Inc., 103%, 469% for Emit P-Hex. Pretty amazing. It looks like there's still a bit of room in there too. You have to balance out the TVL in there too, because obviously as you go in, there'll be a bit more, you'll lower the APR as you go into the pool. Just remember that. And can be quite significant depending on the pool, right? Depending on the pool. We got 204% on the Wrapped Bitcoin and 112% Emit on the Emit Wrapped Bitcoin for Pulsechain there. All right, we also have not only Emit farms, but we have the Pulsex farms. So we've got Die Pulse there, Ink Pulsex, Pulsex combinations, and they've got some nice APRs there on those as well. Looks like someone got another phone call now. We've got 25% on the Pulsex there at the moment. We've also got the Vouch pools. As I said, number one validator right now is Vouch. We've got 75%, 92%, and a 12% there on some of the pools, so not bad. What's a real standout there? Vouch Emit is at 92%. We've also got Ink Printer pools. So Ink Printer, of course, is from Fast Abdul. It's one of the liquidity forks that takes in INC tokens. Got some pretty nice yields on those as well. So Ink Dollar Emit is 133%. Print and S Print. So S Print is the derivative from Print. And inside the protocol, you've got 68% there. And then Ink Dollar USDC as well, 27%. So lots of different yields offering. Pulse Bitcoin, of course, has been around for a long time. Fat Sammy kind of leads he's an influence in the Pulsechain community, leads kind of a council for Pulse Bitcoin, being particularly focused on Ethereum side, but I think that Pulsechain side's also in their peer view as well. But you've got some Pulsechain farms here as well. So 111%, 97%, 106% there as well. So some pretty good peers there, including Pulse Bitcoin, Emit, and ASIC, and Pulsex. So there we go. We also got Pulse Bitcoin and ASIC in there as well. So that's 96%, not bad. What else we got here? Let's have a look at the pump tires. We've got pump tires in here as well. Pump tires, most pump and most, Top Hat and most, and Peacock and Emits. So if you've got Peacock, you can put your Emit together there. Lots of nice high yields in there as well, 92%, 84%, etc., 114%, etc. We've got Crypto Paradise at the moment. So Crypto Paradise, of course, one of the big YouTube channels that does, they were going to do daily shows. I don't think they've quite been able to manage to do that, but they're certainly doing a couple of shows a week, I think. So Surf Emit there, up 144%. Top Hat Surf, 100% there, and X and Surf, 128%. So you've got Crypto Paradise team there as well. Like I said, you've got some of the top teams, right? You got Vouch and Pulse Bitcoin. These have got big communities as well. So they're not just, relatively big projects, big communities. Got some community tokens there with Gelato, Tetra, which just launched its demo recently with its DeFi solution. We got Dark as well from the. We used to talk about the Dark a lot. They're out there still as well. We've got Pulsechain Store. If you have got a free T-shirt from the Pulsechain Store, I think they've given away thousands of T-shirts. But they've also got their token in the Emit farm as well. Pulse Emit, Pulsechain Store, Pulse, and with Pulsechain as well. So all pretty attractive APRs there as well. So you can see Pulsechain store, Emit Pulsechain store is 140%, so not bad there. We've also got Rhinify, which we're a big fan of the team. Really great community in the team there, really great leadership, and they're the first combat token on Pulsechain with their big Pulse Reserve, 28-day recharging and buy and burn. So you also earn Pulse divs as well. But they got farms. They got 90% on the Rhino Emit and 80% on the Rhino Pulse. So if you're in there, kind of cool. Now, Emit Farm is not doesn't gatekeep, even though it's got competition with some of the other farms. Like I said, there's probably over half a dozen farms, and Pulsechain still, offering decent yields. And one of those is Function Island from Danny D. He's the founder of that, and he's got Island Emit in here, 145%. Yield Emit 133% and 153% on Farm and Emit. So there we go. Function Island getting supported. Function Island Pulse at 96%. We've got Actuator out there as well, and that's got 140% at the moment on the Actuator, Emits. We've got Hocus Pocus out there as well. Hocus Pocus does actually has a farm tool where you can go around across all the farms and look at the best APRs across dexes and farms and things. So Hocus Pocus, go check that out. It's pretty cool. We might talk about that again soon. We got Hocus Pocus and Pulse and Magic X Emit there, looking pretty good, 63% and almost 196.5% there on Magic X, so not bad. Talking about other big communities, we've got the Graze currency. Obviously, we've got Prairie Banana and many of the influencers that support that project out there, and they've got nice yields, 120% on PDC Emit, 180% on UFO Emit, so looking pretty attractive there. We got, if you like Vietnam vets and supporting that, Hero. We got VIC Foundation. They're also part of the True DFX. They're a partner there as well. They got Vets and Emit 144%, Hero Emit at 120%, and Hero Pulse at 155%. Like I said, there's some big partnerships here. We got Randy Lasky, another big influencer with no permissions. His project, it's the biggest what do you call it? Kind of investment club on Pulsechain that follows Randy Lasky. Pretty cool. That's got 185% on Nope and Emit. Yep and Emit there, 129%, and Solid X there. So we've got Firewall included in this as well. And was all part of that index, right? That they had, what was the index called? Solid X index, I think it was. So 173% there. We got Solid X Access in there as well, Nope and Fire. So we've got Crispy Man who does all the Hex reports. Got his tokens in there as well with Nope token. And they're all earning pretty high yields, over 100%, so not bad there. Now we talked about other farms, that are supported. We talked about Function Island. Well, we also got another one of these farms, which is let me see here. Where we go past it? Vox. So Vox at the moment, Vox and Emit 177%. Vox and Hype token from Vox there, 200% at the moment. Then we got Impulse, which I believe is original Chorus. I think this is early project from some time back, but that's sitting in there pretty high yields as well, 142%, 205%. And then we have Pulsechain. Now, Pulsechain is a kind of a rising DeFi star. I do see that they've got some sort of sacrifice project at the moment, and they've just launched their V3 DEX as well. So Pulsechain is kind of a rising DeFi star on Pulsechain. They seem to just be delivering and stuff like that. So they're obviously probably trying to raise capital for expansion, but they're up 245% right now. Sen and Emit on the APR, 198% on Sen Pulse there. So that's looking pretty groovy, isn't it? Very low TVL in there at the moment, so that will come down as soon as people go into that. So just take note, it's only a small pool, probably going a small pool in those high APRs because you will drag it down. And then we talked about another farm that's been supported, which is Nexion. Nexion's more of an ecosystem, not just a farm, but they have lots of other DeFi tools. And that includes 10x Leverage, the Neon Glow product, and that's pretty exciting out there too. But Nexion and then with Neon and Emit at 188% APR. So those are all the farms. So you can sort of see there's some pretty big communities, pretty big influencers, and pretty big DeFi projects in there. And so offering high APR. And so some pretty cool stuff there from Emit. And like I say, the emission rate, pretty cool, modest. You got the staking, single side staking, and then you got all the Emit farm pools. So let's have a quick look at the NFTs. They've got NFTs at the moment. I think they're getting there, aren't they? I think there's 555. There's so far 437 are sold out. Does give you a few perks and benefits as well. Fee farming fee, so you don't get any fees going to the farms. And what else? It's how much is it? A million pulse to get one, so it's a pretty good value. 0 deposit withdrawal fees and a DAO membership as well, ability to create proposals. So it does seem to have extra perks there. All right, what else we got? Also the council. Like I said, I think the council, you have to have 1,000 Emit to be able to vote on that. And then, of course, they've got the DAO there as well, where you can obviously put up proposals. It looks like they've got one up at the moment. Proposal there as well about Deck Screener to get better marketing on there potentially. And then, of course, the latest product to launch is the factory. And the farm factory here is pretty cool. It's got 2 farms at the moment that people have used, but you can create a farm and you can get a reward token address, and then you can staking token as well, and any other features there. And you can pretty much reward your ecosystem. So if you're a team out there want to do that, that could be something to think about there. The cost is only 5 million pulse. So that is the latest product there from Emit Farm from Chorus. Now, Chorus also has a farm on Sonic Chain called Crongy. We've covered that in the past, and that's been doing pretty damn well too. So there's also a blog, so you can go to the blog page. We'll quickly check that, and that has lots of updates and insights there as well. You can see the latest one there on Emit Factory if you want to find out more details. I'm sure it's got all the groovy details in there. Let's look. Yeah, so there we go. Very cool. So if you want all the details about how that works, there it is. Pretty cool. That is Emit Farm, guys. So I wanted to go through that. One of our top farms on Pulsechain earning high APR DeFi, right? High APR DeFi there as well. What else? Wally's in the house there. Good to see you, Wally. Yeah, I mean, you can go into Telegram and talk about that with the old launch there. I know there's, people's opinions. As you guys know, we're no drama channel. Try to keep away from that. You can go compare the critics and Rackham's comments in Telegram. What else do we got? Friedman says, why Pulsechain dipping so hard again now? I think it's because we've got 1 or 2 accounts that are selling us down. I actually haven't looked today. Normally I try to have a look to see who's selling, and CryptoSolve often does some analysis about that too. I did check him today, but nothing on that in particular. There was another project that launched, maybe that had some impact into it as well. Sick of it, says Friedman. Yeah, well, it is frustrating for sure. All I can say is that it is once again another buying opportunity. That's all one can say. And DCA and increase the bags. That's pretty much it. What else? Let's see here. What else there? Let's see if we've got anything else. Yeah, we do have, obviously with brown and paper hands there. We do need a bit more maturity in the Pulsechain, but that's going to take time. That's just going to take time, Wally. We need obviously good projects and people to get used to that. So we do have some though. We do. I think we're heading towards a good half a dozen, and I'm going to do a show on that. So we'll do that on another time. We do have some other big projects out there, like James Maria's operating a lot of his tokens, things like that out there. So there's a different range of stuff at the moment. Well, he says, put half my funds in ETH and half in Pulse. Pulse is down, rest is up, break even. Amazing, says Wally. Yeah, well, 26, 27 is going to be quite an upward to the right market, isn't it? So I think it's going to be pretty fun this year compared to last year, for example. All right, so that's pretty much it for the show. I hope you appreciate it. And a big shout out to Chorus and Emit Farm, crushing it out there, been working hard, building up those partnerships, and putting in great tokenomics, and it's been very successful. So there we go. We'll be probably try to cover some other projects coming up, so stay tuned for that. Looking forward to Vouch 369, multi-chain liquidity fork there from Fast Abdul. I know that's going to be a real another investable type of project, so I'm excited about that, adding probably some decent TVL to the market. So yeah. All right, we're going to leave it there. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Take care, everybody, and catch you on tomorrow's show. Bye for now.